Welcome back to Restored by Allie. In this video, we're actually doing another table. Someone saw the first table that I did and they liked it so much that they wanted their table done. So they brought over their table, which is now being stripped, and we're going to do a different kind of stain, and I think it's a different white. It's still pretty white, but a different color white as well. But yeah, that's pretty exciting to have someone like your stuff so much they want their own stuff. So yeah, as you can see, the stripper's already working. So I'm just gotta wait here for a little bit until it's all ready to be scraped off, and then do another layer and then start sanding. Sanding's the worst part, but after that it all goes pretty smoothly. If you're wondering what kind of stripper I use, as you see in this video, I am using an orange gel, which is called Citrus Strip. I really like this stripper. It seems to work really well in a lot of different weather conditions because some can be really sensitive to weather. But I highly recommend Citrus Strip. And then you're gonna see me on the table. I use one called Smart Strip right here. You can see in the video. This one's really similar to Citrus Strip. And I highly recommend this one too. I just used two different ones because it's what I had in the garage already. So I'll make sure to link both of these in the description below. Here's what it looks like when the stripper is ready to be scraped off. It kind of like bubbles up. A little trick that I found that works really well is to spray it with a spray bottle to make sure it stays wet the entire time, because if it dries out, it doesn't work very well. Okay, just a little update on the table and chairs. I'm planning to try to get all the stripping done today, and the table is pretty much done. I just need to go around the edges and then wipe it off and clean. Chairs are pretty much done as well, just need to clean off. And over there in the back are the leaves, which I still have to scrape, clean. And then we should be pretty set for what I wanted to get done today and do all the sanding tomorrow. I use a wireless circular sander, but I don't recommend wireless. The batteries die so fast when you sand that it's actually way easier to use a sander that plugs into the wall. So if you have one of those, I recommend using the sander that plugs into the wall over this wireless sander. And I start with a 60 grit to get everything off, and then I go in with 100 and then 150. And then if I really want it to be really fine, you can go anywhere higher than 150 to finish it off. But I recommend starting with a 60 grit, otherwise you're really going to take forever to get down to the bare wood. In this part of the video, you're seeing me scuff sand all of the areas that I'm just going to paint. So I usually use 150 grit when I'm scuff sanding, and then I just go over everything really quickly and then wipe it off with a rag, and it's ready to be painted. This was my first time using a stain that was a light color, so I learned a lot when I did this project. I learned that first of all, I don't want to wipe this stain off like I did with a dark stain, because when I wiped it off, it seemed like the wood didn't take it all the same. Like some areas were lighter and some areas were darker. And then I got to the point where I just had to actually sand everything back down and start over. So in this next little bit of the video, you're gonna see me sanding again. That's me sanding off the stain I already put on right here. And then the second time when I put the stain on, it was a lot better and it looked so much nicer. So make sure you sand really, 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 really well before you use a light stain. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It really supports me and my dog Bucko and what I do for work. It's free, it doesn't cost any money. All you have to do is hit subscribe, and I really, really, really appreciate all the support that I've already gotten from everyone that's already subscribed. But if you're not, you can do it. Just hit the button. So the paint that I am using is what the client dropped off, and it's the same exact paint that they used on their cabinets because they wanted their table to match their cabinets in the kitchen. And it's an oil-based paint, so after one layer you have to wait quite a while for it to completely dry and add the second layer. But oil-based paint will dry hard and it will be really nice to like clean if you get anything on it after it dries. And I highly recommend oil-based paints for almost any kind of furniture to make it more durable. Another pro tip for someone who is painting chairs, if you're going to stain the base, make sure you stain the base first and then put on the poly coat, because that way if you do happen to drip a little bit on the base of the chair, you can actually let it dry. I know that sounds scary, but let it dry, and then you can use your nail to scratch it off and it'll be perfectly fine. For the top coat, I use the same as I did on the previous table I have completed. It's a water-based satin finish, and it dries really nicely, and I love using a foam brush to apply it because it seems to just go on like smoother than an actual bristle brush. Okay, so we are on our second to last day, because I'll put on another layer of paint on the chairs tomorrow because they don't even have the first layer on yet, the top, and they'll need a second layer, and this paint takes quite a while to dry, so I'll do that second layer tomorrow. But everything else that needs to be painted needs just one more layer of paint, and so that means tomorrow we will finish. Most of it will be done today besides just those two chairs. And then I'll show you guys the final product. Just in case you're curious on what brushes I'm using to do the detailed work, they're actually like dollar store, cheap Amazon brushes that you can kind of just dispose of when you're done with them. Since this is oil-based, you can't easily clean this paint off brushes. I will clean it off the bigger brushes with mineral spirits, but these brushes I'll probably just end up throwing away. Here's a quick shot of the paint that I used and the stain that I used. And now you guys get to see the final product. Sit, stay, 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 stay. No, sit, sit, stay, Rocco. Stay. Ready? Stay. 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 What's that? Stay. Stay. Look. What's over there? Bago, come here. Come. Bago. Bago. Come here. Come here. Okay. No, come here. Sit. Come over here. Okay, sit. Stay. You're crazy. You're crazy.